We thank you for staying with us as day 2 of Dream Nations Cup coverage rolls on. We've played 2 games so far today. Now moving on to our third. This is our first game of the day of the women's round robin, day 2 of Dream Nations Cup coverage. It's the Dream Nations Cup here from the American Dream Mall in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Our first women's matchup of the day will be Puerto Rico and the Netherlands. The Netherlands are the reigning champs, but they're coming off a brutal loss to the Caribbean, 9-1 in their first game back at the tournament yesterday as the reigning women's champs. Puerto Rico, meanwhile, won against South Korea yesterday, 2-1. That is where these two teams stand right now. It's already been an exciting day so far today. All 4 of our men's Division II teams have played. Right now, the Caribbean is at 2-0 in men's Division II rankings. And they lead the pack there heading into the final day of group stage round robin play. But now we get set for the women's. Puerto Rico and the Netherlands, 2 teams looking for different things. Puerto Rico looking to be 2-0 and perhaps finish the day at the top of the standings in the women's tournament. Netherlands, meanwhile, the reigning champs, but did not look like it yesterday. They're looking to get back on track this morning into afternoon for you. A whole lot of hockey to come right here, but first, let's take it down to the ice for the playing of both national anthems. So with the anthem played, The anthem played for both nations. We are set to get going here for our third game of the day, on the second day of group stage round robin play here at the Dream Nations Cup 2025. This is the second installment of the Dream Nations Cup. The first one, the female champions, well, they're on the ice right now. That's the Netherlands team. They had a very good tournament last year, 5 wins, 2 losses. Defender Tori Bizzuto led the tournament with 14 points in 7 games. Crazy impressive. But this is a Netherlands team that's very, very different. You know, Bizzuto, one of a handful of players who did not return. And you look at that roster as you see them return to their bench. They have by far the smallest roster of any team in this tournament. You see just 11 players there. And, you know, fielding 5 women on the ice plus a goalie at all times when you only have 11 players is a new sort of challenge, and perhaps that's part of the reason why they fell so brutally to the Caribbean yesterday. Again, 9-1 was the final score in that game. But that was yesterday, and this is today. Both teams getting ready for the face-off. Leffler taking the face-off for Puerto Rico, and Wardle taking it for the Netherlands. And we are underway, day 2 of women's group stage play here at Dream Nations Cup 2025. Playing the neutral zone around the near boards, up to the near corner. Number 52, Kaylin Williams from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, bringing the puck up the ice. Here's a shot that comes right on, and it's saved. That's the netminder for the Netherlands, who you see right there, Merla Hilversum, 9 points in 7 games at last year's Dream Nations. Played pro for the Amsterdam Tigers in the Netherlands this past season. One of a handful of players on our team with some pro experience. Seems like a strong backbone this Netherlands hockey program has. That's where they were able to take home the crown in the women's division last year. Puerto Rico trying to generate some offense here early on, capitalizing on their 2-1 win yesterday. Kept alive by number 48, Kylie Risco. Risco along the far boards. Netherlands trying to clear, and finally they do. Leading along is Britt Wardle. Wardle moving across the ice into the corner, tries to center, it gets blocked. I think that block came from Allegra Jenkins. Into the near corner, it's Hannah Beckman who tries to clear, and finally they get it out of the zone. Allegra Jenkins back the other way. Jenkins, here's a shot that comes on, and it looked like it might have been deflected and wound up wide. One shot so far in this game, it belongs to Puerto Rico. Back the other way is the Netherlands. It was Wardle who tried to bring that one up. Puck lost the neutral zone and dumped back the other way. And that'll be an icing call on there. Folks, if you're not familiar with the sport of hockey, or not as familiar as you'd like to be by the time we're done with this tournament, basically what an icing is it tries to incentivize teams not to just dump the puck back the other way. Basically, if you send the puck in your defensive zone more than 2 lines back down the other way, you see those blue and red lines on the ice, play will come immediately right back to your defensive zone. It's a way to keep you from doing that. Almost 2 minutes into this first period. Puerto Rico and the Netherlands here in the first game of day 2 of women's group stage play. That puck hit the netting, and we'll do it again. Netherlands making quick changes as we go. And you would imagine for a team that only has 4 players on its bench right now, they're going to be making a lot of quick, swift changes over the course of these 45 minutes. Played back behind the net by Kaylin Williams. Now up front here, a chance for the Netherlands, and they couldn't get it done there. Play up top here, it's Victoria Erie with the puck. And she gets knocked down. Nice defensive play from Puerto Rico there. They move it back up in the other direction along the near boards. Intercepted though, and now we go back the other way. It's Charlotte Van Morik with the puck. Van Morik under pressure, tries to center one in front, but there's no one there to take it. And Puerto Rico heads it back. It's Sabrina Honeycutt moving up the ice here. Now a shot that comes right on, and a nice save there from the netminder, Hilversum. Into the near corner here. Allegra Jenkins back up again. She's moving up the ice pretty quick today. Here's a shot that comes right on, deflects wide. Vandertoorn might have gotten a piece of that one. Play back at center ice. That's Jenkins again. Jenkins just 5'3", moves up and down the ice. Very, very fast. You can already see that. Played in the far corner by Britt Wardle. Deep in her own zone. Nice forecheck here from Puerto Rico. Not letting them clear this puck. It's Hilversum getting involved in there. Play comes in. Here's a spin around attempt. And it looks like a bashing into the net. Brought the net off its hinges and will reset. 4 minutes into this first period. No score between Puerto Rico and the Netherlands. 2 shots for Puerto Rico, 1 for the Netherlands. Face off right outside the blue line. Here comes the Almeida. Now a chance up in front. Nice save there. Rebound. Knocked away. Nice save from Vandertoorn there. Another shot comes right on, and it's right into the padding of Vandertoorn. It was Lice de Almeida. Took that shot there. Yet to have a point registered in this tournament. Face off to Vandertoorn's right. Fight for it along the near boards. Play in the corner, and they're able to dump it out. And now they're leading here. De Almeida back to retrieve. Here comes Puerto Rico. Looked like it attempted a shot, but it got deflected into the corner. Fight for it up along the boards, now back into the neutral zone. Here comes the Netherlands the other way. Miwusin. A nice steal there. Comes a counter from Puerto Rico. Alvarez. Here's a shot that comes on. Nice save by Vandertoorn, and the rebound knocked away. Dumps this one up here. Fighting for it is Van Morik offensively. Now before it can be chipped away into the near corner. Puck chipped up to center ice. Retrieved there by Muriel Hilversum. About 5.5 minutes into this first period. Still no score. Puerto Rico and the Netherlands. Puerto Rico already with 5 shots though. Right in the near corner here. It's Wardle. Wardle tries to send it up and out of the zone. Hilversum went to retrieve it, but it's stolen by Beckman. Hannah Beckman being defended. Here's the shot. It wound up on the side of the net. Wardle trying to knock it out, but a strong forecheck here from Puerto Rico. Puck winds up back behind the net. Brommer there to take it. Ava Brommer. Here's Wardle with it again. Wardle along the near wing. Loses possession of it. Loose back behind the net. Puerto Rico retrieves. Wardle with the forecheck. Played up along at the blue line and back into center ice. Trying start something there offensively was A.J. Jimenez, but it wouldn't go. Played at the center line here. Netherlands trying to take possession, but they can't do it. Back along the far boards. Ooh, big hit there. Looked to be registered by Williams as play stops. Shaping up to be a beautiful day here on this Thursday. It's just about noon. 11:57 by my tally. We're indoors, of course, but nevertheless. Here comes a rush from Leffler. Leffler gets a shot right on, and a nice save there from Van der Toorn that caroms away. Back behind the net is Erie, Victoria Erie for the Netherlands. Someone to pass to, now along the near wing, but loses possession. Back in the neutral zone and over into retrieve as it falls into their own zone is Hilversum, Merla Hilversum. Here's an interception here. Eventually the Netherlands take it back. Here's Beth Evers, who was fighting for that one, but it was a little beyond her reach. Played at center ice here. That's Alvarez. Romer sends one in. Played along the board. Shot comes right on to the far left of the goalie Van der Toorn. Here's Williams. Williams shot right on. And Van der Toorn holds down on it. Clock stops with 6:48 left in the first period. The reason I say it's a beautiful day, even though we're indoors, you have a wonderful sunroof here. The sun coming in very nicely today. 6.5 left in the period. 20 seconds left in the one-woman advantage. And a shot and a goal! Allegra Jenkins, the 16-year-old from Exeter, New Hampshire, records her first point and first goal of the tournament. She's just 16 years old, was playing for a 19U team this year. And now she's registered a goal on this grand stage, and it makes it 1-0 Puerto Rico here late in the first period. Play at center ice here after the face-off. Now the Netherlands will try not to fall behind in the fashion that they did yesterday. 1-0 Puerto Rico leads, 6 minutes left in the first period. Puck played along the near boards. There's a shot right up from the point that got deflected. Looked like it was off the skate of Modal. It's an opportunity up front here. And a hard hit to the ground, but nevertheless, here comes Puerto Rico. Honeycutt with the puck. Shot that comes right on. And a save. That Puerto Rico goal, as we mentioned, was from number 4. Beckman, Sabrina Honeycutt on the assist as well. Turning back the other way is Puerto Rico. Here comes Zamianek, and a shot, and there it's in! Puerto Rico getting the job done right away. Looks like that was from defenseman Sophie Zamianek. She spent the last 3 years at Norwich University in D3, and she's on the board here today. Had an assist yesterday and now a goal today. 2 points in the tournament and a 2-goal lead now for Puerto Rico here in the first period. Pace this game moving quite quick. Puerto Rico out to a 2-goal lead fairly early. We're about 10 minutes into this first period. Playing 15-minute periods in this tournament, if you're just joining us, so 45 minutes of gameplay total. Here comes the Netherlands now. Shot that moves its way right on, but the goalie, Kaylin Williams, is able to handle. Comes Puerto Rico, that's Montalvo with the puck. Netherlands takes back possession. Shoved down along the boards into the corner and back behind the net, and there to retrieve is Modal. Sloiter with it. Puck now loose in the neutral zone. Back to retrieve is the Netherlands. 4 minutes remaining in the period. And that's going to be an icing right there. Britt Worrell went back to go chase it for the Netherlands, but couldn't get there. Face off the glove side of Vandertoorn. Puerto Rico trying to get something going here. Another offensive opportunity coming. Leffler couldn't handle it. Leffler again, a backhanded attempt to center, and it's cleared. Zamianek tries to center it back in, but it wouldn't go. Wardle handling for the Netherlands, back deep. Here's an interception, and here comes a shot attempt, and it is loose back into the crease, and it got knocked away, and another shot on the rebound, and it's in. Puerto Rico just swarming the net and creating their own offensive opportunities, and now all of a sudden they have jumped out within the last 5 minutes of the first period to a 3-0 lead. Looked like it was off the stick of Lays de Almeida, the 18-year-old forward for Puerto Rico, who has scored the 3rd goal for her side. Netherlands wins back the faceoff. Surely they'd like a goal before we enter the first intermission. Here they come now. Mayu Eisen. Here they come again now here. Mayu Eisen. Dumped into the corner. Now Erie, Victoria Erie handling. Couldn't keep control. Pushed back along the boards and eventually cleared. Here comes another shot now. And a pad save there by Vandertoorn. And Puerto Rico just pounding it on. Already had 12 shots with 2 minutes left in the first period. 3 of them have gone in. Netherlands still with 1 shot here. Played in the neutral zone. Netherlands trying to keep on it, and they're going to be offside here. Charlotte Van Morik could not keep that play clean, moving from one side of the blue line to the other. If you're not familiar, that's what offside means. You cannot be, if you're an offensive player, past the blue line before the puck is. The puck must be the first thing inside the blue line. And if not, we have an offside, and then you have your face-off right there, right in front of the blue line. Puerto Rico drifts back defensively to take this. Here comes Puerto Rico now. Here's a shot that comes up to the shoulder of Vandertoorn that she's able to knock away. Under 2 minutes left in the period. Fought for along the boards. Back to grab is Puerto Rico, and now they're going to try and move it along on the near wing. Here they come. Nice defensive play there that knocks down Honeycutt. Here's a tent upon the puck by Vandertoorn, and play stops with a little under 90 seconds left in the first period. Comes up top here. Karam's all the way in front of the net and eventually knocked away. Netherlands would love to keep this from being a 3-0 game before the period's over. They'd love a goal. They're not getting one here. They lose it in the neutral zone. Here comes the counterattack. 2-on-2. Shot comes right on. Save, but it's loose the rebound and knocked away. Minute left in the period. Dump back in the other direction. And retrieved by Jenkins before it would get behind the net. It's Jenkins bringing it all the way back now. Jenkins loses possession but recovers it in the near corner. Under defensive pressure here, under 45 seconds left in the period. Moving it forward here to the stick side, now moves to the glove side. In the near corner, 30 seconds to go in the period. Played back behind the net by the Netherlands. They're going to try and clear and pretty much put an end to this period. Maybe they'll have a chance for one more offensive opportunity. It's Wardle bringing it down the ice, who got a shot on, but it caromed away. 10 seconds left now. Back in the other direction is Puerto Rico. Here's Williams. Williams, a shot right on that's gloved by Vandertoorn. We'll do one more face-off with 3.3 seconds remaining in the first period. Rosa takes the face-off. Move along the boards, and that will end the first period. We've played 15 minutes so far here in this game in the Dream Nations Cup. Puerto Rico leading the Netherlands on day 2 of women's round robin group play, 3-0. We'll be back with the second period in just a couple minutes. Stay with us. We welcome you back in for period number 2 in this game in the 2025 Dream Nations Cup of the American Dream Mall. Puerto Rico right back on the offensive here. They're already up 3-0. Here's a shot that comes right on, and it winds up between the pads of Marjolein van der Toorn, the netminder for the Netherlands. Play resumes here, and here in our second period, I am joined by Puerto Rico's team manager, Sandra Honeycutt. Thank you so much for being a part of this and coming up to talk to us today. I want to make sure I can hear you right now. Let me try that. Hold on.
Test, test. Oh, there I am.
Let's see. Yep, we got the right mic for you now. Here's a shot that comes right on, loose in front of the net, and now winds up behind it. So, Sandra, tell us a little bit about Puerto Rico's journey to this tournament here today, and what the program has been like over the last couple of years.
So we have participated in several tournaments. The team has been growing. We participated most recently in an IIHF event in Brazil, which was amazing. And we have been growing the program ever since. Just getting, the more we grow internationally, the more people are wanting to be a part of this journey with us. Surely.
So something that has been fascinating, and this really the point of this whole tournament, is to lift up, hockey nations and hockey programs that we don't typically think of for this sport, right?
Correct.
So, specifically for you guys, how do you go about building a Puerto Rican hockey team? It doesn't seem like an easy thing to try and be able to do.
True, especially since there's no ice right now in Puerto Rico.
None at all?
None. There is plans to. There was the history of ice is interesting in Puerto Rico in that there was ice many years ago, but then Hurricane Maria came and I'll stop talking.
Loose puck in front of the net here. Finally knocked away. So you were saying there is not currently any ice in Puerto Rico, but there was before Hurricane Maria, you said?
Correct.
Shot comes right on, and it's handled there by van der Toorn.
And so the goal is to get ice. But in the meantime, a lot of the ladies are from, they have heritage in Puerto Rico. Either they were born there or they have a parent or a grandparent. And so a lot of the ladies are from the mainland.
Yeah.
And have heritage of Puerto Rican heritage. So, and it's difficult because we don't get to practice together. Probably 4 times a year we can practice together by doing tournaments such as this, which helps.
So would you say the tournaments are really where you're practicing together? That's fascinating. How many of these players had met before this tournament? Because I've talked to some other teams that said they met the day they got here.
Yes, a lot of them met the day they got here. There's probably a handful, maybe about, because we just came off of a tournament in Las Vegas as well as Chicago. Chicago is one of the places where PRIA, which is the Puerto Rican Ice Hockey Association, hosts their flagship event. And so a lot of the younger teams, the 14U, 16U, and such participate, and it helps to feed this program, the national teams. So we were able to meet a lot of people for the first time there as well.
Surely.
So I would say a handful know each other from that, but just in the past year or 2.
That's fascinating. And I would imagine, a lot of them met through playing whatever club game.
Well, they're all over. They're all over.
That's the interesting thing.
Yeah.
I've noticed they're also very young. It's a very young team.
Yes.
Was that a goal, or is that just a matter of who's available?
A little bit of both. There was some veterans in our team, and then there are players that are just so skilled, and they made the cut, if you will.
There you go. Tell me a little bit more about maybe not specifically people in Puerto Rico, because we're talking about a lot of people who are of Puerto Rican heritage, perhaps is more accurate to say.
Correct.
What is the interest in that community in hockey? Is that newly founded? Has that been there for a while? What's that like?
I don't think it's newly founded. I think roller hockey is very, very popular there.
Sure.
And so the skills translate a lot.
Here's a shot and a goal. Puerto Rico celebrates their 4th goal of the game. Looked like it was Riley Love. The 18-year-old forward makes it 4-0 Puerto Rico. That was a nice goal there from Riley.
It was.
Had a goal in the first game and has a goal here now. 2nd point of the tournament. 4-0. Puerto Rico leads during the second period. She lines up for the face-off now. Just one back by the Netherlands, and they'll get going here. 4-0 Puerto Rico leads on just 19 shots. They've also held the Netherlands to just 2. Let me ask you, as someone who is a team manager and someone who watches a lot of hockey and someone who sees a lot of hockey, how does being Puerto Rican, having a Puerto Rican background, how does that apply to a certain style of hockey that's being played? Do you find that there's a specific style of Puerto Rican hockey, or is it too early in its infancy to even know that?
No, I think passion transcends everything. I think, you don't have to be of a certain descent to show passion for the game.
Surely. Yeah.
And so, I don't think there is a Puerto Rican hockey style. I think the people who have passion for hockey are going to show it on the ice, and it shows.
Hockey
right?
is hockey, absolutely.
As passionate people. Hockey players already are, and then you add a little bit of zest, the Latino zest.
I was about to say, I'm glad you said it before I did, but more that's the general, maybe forgive me, a little cartoonish idea of Puerto Ricans. I guess I was more curious if that has transcended its way into gameplay. Here's a shot that comes right on. That's knocked away, loose rebound, still in front of the net, moving to the far corner. They can't clear here, and it's caromed into the near corner here. 5 minutes into the second period, 4-0 Puerto Rico leads. Netherlands has registered 2 more shots here. They now have 3 on the afternoon. When they come back the other way, Puerto Rico. To Maniac, here's a shot that gets caromed away. Along the near boards now. On the near wing, here comes the Netherlands now. This one finds its way in front of the net, but it's knocked away. Again, I'm joined here in the booth by Sandra Honeycutt, who is the team manager of the Puerto Rican women's team who you see on the ice right now. They lead 4-0. Let me ask you, what is the team's goal for this tournament? Obviously you want to win. And, and there's, the way things are looking, they certainly have a shot at it.
Yeah, no,
they could finish today, top of the standings in the women's division.
Absolutely.
Anything else on the agenda, I guess is more what I mean?
Yes, absolutely. I think one of the biggest goals of our team, and this is testament to our wonderful coach, is the team bonding that he's creating.
Sure. Yeah.
He really is. I mean, a lot of these girls don't know each other. They met for the first time here or just recently this year. And the team bond is already very strong. They chose to get an Airbnb instead of a hotel.
Oh, that's interesting.
And so they are building bonds as we speak. So that is one of the goals, is to really form a unit and a bond. And the motto of the coach's team is team, teammate, self. And that is what he constantly mentions at every practice and
I like that
meeting.
a lot.
Yes.
So there's bonding happening, and obviously you want that to happen more. Hopefully you can practice a little bit more together too.
Right.
And that would hopefully result in a little more bonding.
Right.
But let me ask you, in terms of this tournament and
the future,
what happens from here?
Well, we want to make it to the international stage and win a gold medal in the championships for IIHF. That is our goal, so that eventually we can maybe make it to the Olympics in 2030.
Could you imagine?
Once we get ice in Puerto Rico. But yeah, the next goal is to get gold in an international championship.
And you think that's realistically, how far off is that?
It's very realistic. Very realistic.
Interesting.
Yes. We have a strong team. We're building more and more people are calling us.
Yeah.
We didn't know about Puerto Rico, just like everyone else. I wear this around where it says Puerto Rican ice hockey, and
sure, everyone
relates to the Cool Runnings. They're like, oh, you mean like the Jamaican bobsled team?
Like the Jamaican bobsled team, yeah.
And so we're like, yeah, we know tropical islands can actually have a Puerto Rican team. So it's growing. The more people, the more awareness we have out there, the more people are participating and finding out, and just getting the word out there so we can get more girls.
So how did you individually get interested? I know your daughter's on the team, right?
Yes.
So was she the one who brought hockey into the house, or who brought hockey into the house?
My oldest son brought hockey into the house.
Oh,
he is a sophomore now in college. And he brought hockey initially into the house.
Wow. And so she just fell in love with it too. Clock stops here with 7 minutes left.
Yeah, she's what they call the rink rats. She was always around. She wasn't
Yeah.
interested in hockey at all.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I guess we were there so much because of my oldest son and then my youngest son. So she's like, all right, might as well. So she hung up her leotards from doing gymnastics and diving, and she chose this.
That's a big move. Does she feel there's a similarity between gymnastics and hockey at all? We have a power play coming up here for the Netherlands.
In terms of strength and power and persistence, yes. But in terms of team, she loves this idea of teammate self, really.
Yeah.
There is sometimes a little bit more self in gymnastics.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, your individual.
Just by the nature of what you're doing.
Just the nature of what you're doing, sure.
There's a breakaway chance, shorthanded for Puerto Rico here. And a shot, and it's in! A shorthanded goal!
I'm not allowed to scream while I'm on the mic.
I would rather you not. But nevertheless, a momentous occasion for Puerto Rico on their 22nd shot of the game. It's their 5th goal. And more than halfway through this game, they have taken a 5-0 lead. Looked like that was off the stick of Katie Leffler, the former UMass Boston player of D3.
Yes, we have the Leffler sisters here.
That's right.
61, Katie, and Gianna, 27, who, by the way, just recently got engaged.
Oh, congratulations to her.
Yes, yes.
Looked like we had another penalty happen on that scoring play, so now it's going to be 4-on-4 for the next 47 seconds. All right, so how did you become the team manager? Tell me the story about how that happened.
Oh,
boy. And when did it become your then goal as part of this program to help move things forward? Tell me about your involvement.
It seems like it always happens when you make a suggestion.
Sure.
That's really, honestly, how it happened. We were in Brazil, and it was an amazing experience. And I'll tell you about that in a second because we have a player actually who is from Brazil.
I was just about to ask you about that. Tell me more about that.
Yeah. So, but in terms of team manager, that's basically it's kind of a short story. I just made some suggestions because I saw that there was gaps. They needed help, and they said, "Hey, are you interested?" And I said, "Okay." So here I am. And do you want me to talk now or after the play?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So while we're in Brazil, Brazil was an amazing country to be at. The people are warm. They're loving. It was the most wonderful experience in terms of a tournament.
Play stops here. Looks like we might have an injury on the ice.
Uh-oh.
Play stops with 5:20 left in the second period. This is not what you want to see if you're Puerto Rico. Up 5-0, obviously.
It's AJ Jimenez.
AJ Jimenez, number 77 for.
She's touching her knee, it looks like.
Oh, she does seem to be in some kind of pain. It's her first Dream Nations with Puerto Rico. Played for the Caribbean team last time around. We have an attendee on with her now. She's still down the ice, seems to be responsive, and now sitting up.
Wow, what good sportsmanship. Look at the Netherlands.
Absolutely, yeah.
Amazing. That's what I love about the sport.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
It's a family, no matter what side of the bench you're on.
You can see she's definitely favoring one of her knees. She'll make her way to the bench, and You might imagine she is not available for the remainder of this game now. That looks like a pretty roughed up situation there.
What did the NHL say? They lower extremity injury.
Lower extremity injury. There you go. That's one way of putting it.
I hope she's okay.
Puerto Rico also has a woman in the penalty box for another 18 seconds. 5:20 remaining in the second period. Looks like we're going to get back to gameplay in just a moment.
So, back to Brazil.
Yes. So tell me more about that.
So, it was an double IHF hosted event, 3v3, kind of like an exhibition event.
Sure.
And while we were there, we met a family who my daughter became very close with. I became close with the family. And we offered an opportunity to bring this player. Her name is Lais de Almeida. And she came to stay with us. We were there, by the way, in November. And then she came to our home in January and has been staying with us for 6 months.
Wow.
To just learn hockey because we want to spread the love of hockey even more.
Sure, yeah.
And her dream is to go to an American university to play ice hockey. So Puerto Rico graciously hosted her in this event.
That's
to allow her to play. And so she is number 57.
Yes, that's right.
From Brazil. Her skills increased exponentially just getting on the ice and practicing because she just did roller hockey mostly.
Interesting. I think that's something a lot of people don't know about is that other parts of the world enjoy roller hockey as much as, it's interesting, in the U.S. at least, a lot of guys play roller hockey. My brother played roller hockey. Never played ice, actually. But I think for the most part, people in the States see a roller rink as, it's part of a teen movie more than anything else.
Right.
So that's fascinating. It's something that, the typical American, myself included, would not usually think about. That it's a big deal in other parts of the world.
Right. And because Brazil they don't have an official size rink. They only have a small, quarter size of a rink where we did the 3v3. So and availability is very low. So
yeah, sure. Fascinating stuff. We have a battle of the wills up against the board here. Fighting for the puck is Hannah Beckman, but it's eventually won out by the Netherlands. It was Wardle who was able to retrieve it. And we're going to bring it back the other way. Netherlands down 5-0 here late in the second period. Conversation with the referees. Looks like we're going to have a penalty coming up here. And it will be Hannah Beckman, who we just saw fighting to the death for that one puck on the far boards. She's going to take a spot in the penalty box, and the Netherlands will have another power play. They still only registered 6 shots in this game, looking to create some sort of electricity for themselves.
We've been there with the short bench. That is
Sure.
hard.
It's very difficult.
Very difficult.
Only brought 11 players to this tournament, only 10 sitting on the bench today. It's very, very difficult. They've been trying to make quick switches and make them swift. But again, as we mentioned, very, very difficult. Another shot here. It comes right to the net. A nice save there. Netminder Kaylin Williams making the save. About 3.5 minutes left in the second period. Shot comes right on, and it is battered away into the corner. Played along the near boards here. Now across up top. Shot comes right on, but it gets intercepted. In the middle, Puerto Rico takes back possession. How will they counter here? Possible shorthanded opportunity. Jenkins with it. Puts it down back behind the net. Played along the boards here. Puck winds up loose in front, almost an opportunity to shoot there. Van Mora couldn't handle it. Now back in the other direction. Honeycutt fighting for the puck. Loses possession of it. Victoria Erie sends it up along. Now Mae Wyson. AU ice, and here's a shot that they try to bring right on, but it gets deflected away. 2.5 minutes remaining in the period. Back to retrieve it is Britt Wardle, the native of Amsterdam. Bumped up along the boards, and now sent back to the other wing. Play stops here. Looked like might have been offsides right there. And with that, the power play concludes for the Netherlands. They're 0 for 2 on it. Still with me here is Sandra Honeycutt, the team manager of Puerto Rico. What have you seen so far from Puerto Rico so far?
I'm sorry?
What have you seen so far in this game from Puerto Rico?
I am seeing great passion, attack. They really are dominating that puck.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're having fun, which I love.
Of course.
I love to see.
It's easy to have fun when you're up 5 goals.
This is true.
And at 50 remaining in the period. Another opportunity coming in here. Beckman back along the far board. Centering attempt and a shot, but it couldn't be handled by Beckman. On the far wing. Backhanded pass in the back. Beckman looking for an opening. Here's a shot in front, and it's in!
Oh, that was
AJ Jimenez back into the game. Was down on the ice with a knee injury. Back in right away and scoring the 6th Puerto Rican goal. And with under 90 seconds left here in the second period, a triumphant return to the ice makes it a 6-0 Puerto Rico lead. Very nice to see AJ back on the ice, though.
Yes, very happy.
Puerto Rico wins back the faceoff as well with Riley Love, who scored the 5th goal. She's got the puck now in the corner, but loses it back up along the boards. Puck rolls back behind the net. Netherlands back in the other direction. They got 1 more minute to do something before the end of the second period. They're down 6-0. Here's a shot right on, loose in front of the net, and it finds its way in. The Netherlands is finally on the board with under a minute to go in the second period. On a group effort, on a puck that trotted its way and trickled back into the back of the net. The Netherlands finally scores here. Their 2nd goal of the tournament, their 1st of the day, and it is 6-1. Back here for Zemianak.
Zemianek.
That's what I said. Play here at center ice and a steal. Here comes Puerto Rico again. Honeycutt. Back behind the net, swooping around a backhanded attempt. She winds up with her own rebound. Looking for an opening. Backhanded centering pass won't go. 15 seconds left in the period. Another shot comes right on. Vandertoorn able to stop that one. Netherlands trying to clear here, and that's what they'll do. 5 seconds left in the period. Final 2 seconds and 1 here, and that will end period number 2. The Netherlands end the period by finally getting on the board here, but not before Puerto Rico can really run away with it. 6-1 is our score after period number 2. It's Dylan Balsamo. It's Sandra Honeycutt. Thank you again for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I just want to do a shout out to all the Boricuas out there. We normally say, yo soy Boricua, and then you say, pa que tú lo sepa.
Pa que tú lo sepa. You see, I got you.
You got it.
I did it.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for having me.
Yes, it's been a pleasure.
I think they said I'm back tomorrow.
I hope you join us again tomorrow.
I'll have more colorful commentary.
Oh, I bet you will. More hockey coming up on the other side of this break. Period number 3. It's 6-1, Puerto Rico. Welcome back in for period number 3 between Puerto Rico and the Netherlands. Puerto Rico up 6-1, I should say. My apologies. Netherlands finally scoring their first goal of the game in the final minute of play of the second period. It was off the stick of Eleanor Huguet. Has represented France in the World Championship, here representing the Netherlands today. Chance for Puerto Rico here right away. Nice save there by Van der Toom. Another opportunity coming up here. Now before it's battered away. Here's Leffler with a puck. Katie Leffler already with a goal on the day. Williams, here's a shot that comes in, deflected away. Nice stop from Van der Toom. Minute into the third period. It's a 5-goal lead for Puerto Rico. Played back along the boards. Leffler handling. Looking to clear. But you can't do it. The Netherlands keeps it in. Looking for an opportunity. But too many defenders and back the other way for Puerto Rico. The attempt to dump one in that gets deflected off of the stick of Marie Papitz. Here come the Netherlands back the other way. Victoria Erie. Puerto Rico retains coverage here. Up along the near wing. Jimenez. AJ Jimenez suffered a knee injury. Here's a shot that comes right in, and Van der Toom able to save it. Clock stops 2 minutes in. But the clock will actually run here in the third period. The rule for this tournament is in the third period, if a team is up by 5 goals, we run the clock. We do not stop it at any point. So the clock will continue to go here for as long as we are in a 5-point or more game. Up top, here's another shot that comes right in. Loose in front of the net. Van der Toom another save and finally holding on. Van der Toom 2 more saves there. Opportunity that was started by Allegra Jenkins up top. So again, the clock running here in the third period because the goal differential is 5 or more. Back to retrieve that puck for Puerto Rico is Jenkins, Allegra Jenkins. 12 minutes remaining in the game. 6-1, Puerto Rico leads the Netherlands. Here comes a shot that's up and in! Puerto Rico celebrates its 7th goal of the day. And it was AJ Jimenez again. So AJ Jimenez, after suffering a knee injury during the second period, has scored the last 2 Puerto Rico goals, and their lead is now 7-1. Really inspiring to see from AJ Jimenez. It really looked like she was going to be out at least for the rest of the game, the way she was helped off of the ice, favoring one of her knees. And now she scored the last 2 Puerto Rico goals as they continue to pound it on. 31 shots on the day as well. 11 minutes left in the game. Again, a running clock here. And what is a 6-goal lead for Puerto Rico. Netherlands playing the puck in their own zone. Now trying to move it up here along the far wing, but it's stolen. Jenkins, Allegra Jenkins again able to steal it. Away from Van Murick, who was with the puck there. Playing it back behind their own net is the Netherlands now. Across the near boards now. Again, the Netherlands playing with not a lot of players, just 11 players on their roster, just 10 on the bench today. Here comes another opportunity here. A shot, and it's in! Sophie Zemianek from St. Albans, Vermont, scores the 8th goal of the day for Puerto Rico. They are up by 7 goals with 10 minutes left to play. And of course the clock will continue running. About 5 minutes into this period now. And it's an 8-goal lead. Playing along the blue line here. And now up the wing. Handling it is Rosa. Rosa trying to lead it in. Play to the glove side of Vander Torn. Now loose in front of the net before it's finally knocked away and cleared. Under 9 minutes remaining in the game. Coming back into Zemianek, who just scored and gets another shot on before Vander Torn saves it. Clock continues running. 8 and change left in the game. What is a 9-1 affair? Trying to get something going there was Monty Montalvo. As we hit the 8-minute mark. Loose near the blue line before it's knocked to center ice. Now back in the other direction. Netherlands trying to start something here. They're finally able to get on the board at the very end of the second period off the stick of Eleanor Huguet. Seven and a half to go in the game. Van Murick leads it up top for Erie. Victoria Erie tries to center one in, and it gets knocked away. Van Murick again. Pressure on the back check from Puerto Rico. Back in the other direction, Jenkins. Jenkins, a shot that caroms off and deflects away. Kicked along the backboards before being handled by Victoria Erie under pressure, but they're finally able to clear. Now a counter here from the Netherlands. From the glove side. Here's a one-timer attempt that couldn't go. Erie couldn't handle it. Now back in the other direction. Counter from De Almeida. De Almeida, one-on-one. Here's a shot, and it gets knocked away. Looked like she was tripped, and we have a penalty coming up here. Clock continues to run. 6.5 left in the game. And what is a 9-1 affair. The Netherlands will send a woman to the penalty box. And Puerto Rico will have a power play here for the next 2 minutes. There's an attempt right in front right away before it's knocked away by Vander Torn. Up top, Leffler. Now a shot that comes in. That one deflects away. Leaves the zone. Puerto Rico resets at center ice. Leffler. Up top, Jenkins. Now left in front. Here's a shot, and that one's in. A power play goal for Zemianek. Another for her. And Puerto Rico continues to put on the offensive pressure and the goals. This one, a power play goal. And Zemianek continues to have quite the day. Now here comes another attack. It's Maki with it. Before it deflects back behind the net. Fought for in the far corner. Player down for Puerto Rico. Looks like we're going to have another penalty coming up. It's a delayed penalty. And finally the Netherlands touches the puck. And here comes the penalty. Puerto Rico will have yet another power play and yet another offensive opportunity, of which they have had so many today. 34 shots on net. The clock continues to tick. Puerto Rico makes their changes, and it will be 5-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. Under 4 minutes remaining in the game. Shot comes right out for Vandertoorn before it's knocked away. It was loose in front of the crease. Moved along the backboards. And up to the point now. Played along those boards. Finally, they come in. Zeminek fires and scores. Another power play goal for Puerto Rico, and they just continue this offensive reckoning. Playing along the boards here, under 3 minutes to go in the game. The clock will continue to run. Back behind the boards, the Netherlands at this point just trying to get it out of their own zone. They've not had a real offensive opportunity within the last 3 or 4 minutes. Here they come now, though. Erie leaves it up top. Here's a shot that gets knocked away. It was Slider who tried to make that one work, and it couldn't. Puerto Rico can't clear it. Netherlands still with a chance. From the top slot, here's a shot right into the glove of the netminder Kaylin Williams. Under 2 minutes to go in the game. The clock keeps ticking. Nobody in any rush to drop any puck, and continue play. The result has been set. Puerto Rico, a commanding win over the Netherlands. The Netherlands are going to go to 0-2, and a surprising and disappointing start for the defending champions in the women's division of this tournament, and Puerto Rico looking as good as ever. They will move to 2-0, and with this goal differential, will likely by the end of the day have the lead in this 6-team women's division. Minute and change to go now here. Puerto Rico back up the ice. Zeminek. Last minute of play in the period. Up along the far boards. .40 seconds now. Left up top, Zeminek with the puck. Career day for her, a hat trick. 30 seconds now. Final 20 seconds here. Again, this is a commanding, decisive victory for Puerto Rico. They get in one last offensive rush. Whistle blows. Look like they might have been offside. play will stop, but the clock keeps ticking. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and that will end this game. Puerto Rico has declared themselves a force to be reckoned with in this tournament. They win this game in commanding style, holding the Netherlands to just 1 goal and scoring nearly a dozen of their own. So if you're Puerto Rico, a lot to enjoy from that win. They are now 2-0 in group stage play. And like we said, when this goal differential is tallied at the end of the day, they will likely be in first place of the group stage. For the Netherlands, it is another disappointing loss, and by a very, very wide margin. First one was to the Caribbean yesterday, and today it is to Puerto Rico. Our MVP for this game, no surprise, score of a hat trick, Sophie Zemianek, the Norwich University D3 player, who had 1 assist in yesterday's game, has 3 goals today, and will certainly be atop all of the scoring leaderboards after the day is done for the tournament, both men and women. For that Puerto Rican team, their next game is tomorrow at this same time, 11:40 a.m. Eastern Time. It'll be against Lebanon. And for the Netherlands, they'll have one more shot at pulling out a win. That will be tomorrow morning at 9:50 a.m. Eastern. That'll be against Egypt. Please stick around for our next game. That will be Lebanon and the Caribbean. That'll get going in about 20-ish minutes or so. That's another women's group stage game. My partner, Will Wiggleman, will have that for you. That'll be in just a couple of minutes. But we hope you stick around for more coverage, our continuing coverage of the Dream Nations Cup here at American Dream Mall. Stick around.